Clearing the air, Swoopes. If you watch the WNBA, you have to give props to Sheryl Swoopes, the first player ever signed, the first player to make a triple-double, three-time MVP, three-time Olympic gold medalist, one of 15 top players of all time, WNBA Hall of Famer, the trailblazer for women with signature shoe lines, having had 7 signature shoes with Nike throughout her career. Lately, mainstream media has been attempting to place a blemish on her name, presumably because she spoke out against Caitlin Clark. Eventually, fans were fed up and came to Swoopes' defense.
I cried laughing. You know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
That part was true, but some of her other statements were not.
There was this quote by Sheryl that said, Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, however old, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate. And I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend. And I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody. But you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Sheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship, it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
Swoopes immediately fired back and quickly questioned Stephen on why Nancy's conversation about Kennedy Carter was not put on blast the same way that Swoopes' conversation on Clark was. Most importantly, Swoopes needed everyone to know that her life too would be good without Nancy. In case you missed it, Carter pushed Clark in the game after Clark had already pushed her, and Lieberman had this to say.
I'm from New York, and I would have told her to fuck off.
Swoopes was accountable for her mistakes. Swoopes retracted the statement, contacted the young player, apologized, and life went on. And she wondered, was Lieberman as well? Everything seemed fine, and then...
And she's now stepped in it again by saying that Indiana is in the playoffs right now without Caitlin Clark. By saying that, Katie Lou Samuelson's really more integral in terms of her two-way ability.
Elle later apologized for her stance. And then, during the broadcast of the Las Vegas versus Dallas game, Swoopes and Ron Thulin were commentators. Thulin announced that Caitlin Clark was named alongside Napheesa Collier as the WNBA Player of the Week. There was 50 seconds of silence, according to the media, who played the legend like she slighted Clark. Fans quickly pointed out that, by the way, it was a Vegas versus Dallas game. The Fever weren't playing. What do you want from her? And another pointed out, Clark isn't even playing in this game. It's rude to have a conversation about a player not playing while the reigning MVP is playing. Mostly it can be said that Napheesa Collier is also on the graphic. Guess Swoopes hates her too, huh? Everyone agrees that if a commentator didn't speak about any other athlete, it wouldn't make the news. It became an issue because people are looking for drama, division, and to fill their bullying appetite. In comparison, Dee asked, I just want to be clear, when they don't say anything or stroke Clark's ego, they show immaturity, and y'all say something. When they talk bad about Reese, crickets. Okay, gotcha. After the game, an open forum was conducted on Twitter to defend Sheryl Swoopes.
The reason why we're up here is because you got a situation where black women are being attacked. I'm just going to flat out say it. Black women are being attacked unjustly, and people are using basketball in order to do so.
Where she made it clear that
I think Caitlin Clark is a hell of a basketball player.
Still standing on her opinion that
It's the clip they want to pose because they're going to get all these likes and reposts, but that's a basketball play. She hit her in the head, so of course it should be upgraded to a flagrant one. Refs looked at it, they upgraded it. can we keep playing basketball? My thing is, like, every time Caitlin gets fouled, we can't make it seem like she was assaulted.
Those who did not catch the whole episode, she let them know to.
If you've never watched it, you can go back and watch that episode.
Swoopes ended this interview, got in an Uber, and went to the Las Vegas Aces game, where she cleared up some more things.
For whatever reason, there's this narrative that I hate Caitlin Clark. I don't. I don't hate her. First of all, I don't hate people. I hate's a very harsh word. I've also said I love her game. I think Caitlin Clark is an incredible player, but I also think Angel Reese is an incredible player.
Then Stephen A. Smith took it upon himself to announce that Swoopes will be removed from the next Indiana Fever Dallas Wings broadcast. But then Swoopes came and set the record straight.
Like, if you understand play-by-play, if you understand color, like, it really isn't even worth me explaining.
Right.
But I will.
Yeah, because I don't know much about it, so let's just skip it.
Well, so I actually I was color for the Dallas Wings Las Vegas Aces game. My play-by-play guy, he had graphics. So the play-by-play person, for those who don't know, is the one that reads the graphics, right? When the producer gives you the graphics and cards and ads and all of that. So it was during play. Dallas Wings, Las Vegas Aces. So the graphic he had was for Player of the Week. So it was Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier. So he said, Caitlin Clark, Player of the Week, said a few things about her, and then he went right to Nafisa Collier, said a few things about her, and then he said, you'll get a chance to see both of them because they'll be coming to Dallas in the next week. And then we went right back to game action.
So they was mad you didn't say nothing?
First of all, I don't even know how they counted 50 seconds. Who has time to do that? But my point being, I wasn't supposed to say anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he said, Sheryl, Kayla won Player of the Week. What are your thoughts on that? Nafisa Collier won Player of the Week. What were your thoughts on that? It wasn't a dialogue. It wasn't a conversation. But of course, everyone said when he mentioned Caitlin, I was quiet for 50 seconds.
And then they said you didn't want to come back to.
And so the other thing, right? That's not how that happened. So then, of course, Dallas played Indiana, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, this will be interesting. Let's see what Sheryl does." I'm laughing, Angel, honestly, because this is so funny to me, and it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's stupid.
So, they were like, "Oh, Sheryl was replaced. They fired her. They kicked her off the game because it's Caitlin Clark, and she can't do that game." So for the Dallas Wings, they have one play-by-play guy, and there were three of us for the season. Myself, Fran Harris, and Nancy Lieberman. I was contracted to do 7 Dallas Wings games. So I was never supposed to do that game anyway.
Yeah.
But because of everything else, they just kind of figured because I didn't do that game that they fired me. But really, my contract was up.
We don't watch sports. We watch Angel. TM on Multimedia.